Gmail, Yahoo, Amazon.
eToys has really created a very strong brand awareness.
It shot up today.
We're on track, it looks like, to hit 1 billion shares today.
Internet stocks drove a power.
We're now up to 34. The daily volume, 3.7 million shares. We are almost a $2 billion company.
We're pleased to have all of you here with us today as we announce the merger to create the first global media and communications company of the internet century, AOL Time Warner. I don't think it's too much to say this really is a historic moment, a time when we transform the landscape of media and communications. The merger of the #1 internet company with the #1 media company will bring together the best of both worlds and create one of the most respected and most valuable companies in the world with strengths in every link. Together, we can change the future for the better.
It's described as nothing short of breathtaking, a points drop never before seen on the US markets. This closing bell might as well have been an alarm, so savage was the selling. In percentage terms, it had less impact than the crash of '87, but it still left traders and investors shell-shocked.
You saw it, didn't you? It was down some.
Why? How come?
I don't know. Bad day.
Bad day for you?
Another one, yeah.
I know.
Too many in a row.
The plunge was sparked by a jump in US inflation, the fear a bigger hike in interest rates the only remedy. It was enough to force the Dow Jones down 616 points, a drop of 5.5%. The fragile technology stocks even harder hit, the Nasdaq index in freefall down nearly 10%. It lost a quarter of its value in just 1 week.
Once this body started in motion, it was very, very difficult to put the brakes on. And by 1 o'clock, everyone threw in the towel and said it's a foregone conclusion. These things are going down. We'll wait till Monday to get back in again.
The few days that we have in the market next week will certainly be volatile.
The only saviour, Aussie stocks are not as overvalued as those in the US, and some have lost up to half their value already.
There could well be some very good buying out there. I think people who panic will be probably be making those bargains available to the canny investor.
And spare a thought for Bill Gates. The Wall Street collapse cost the world's richest man a mere $1.8 billion this week alone.
The return of the S&P 1 year after all these correction lows, and on average, it's in excess of 30%. You tend to have a pretty robust return.
And the market showed new sign that stocks may have hit bottom. Big names like Advanced Micro, DoubleClick, and Kodak racked up big gains in daily trading, despite announcing profit warnings this week. Experts say this is one sign that optimism about interest rates is winning over worries about weak profits.
We don't know where the bottom in earnings is. I think we know where the bottom in stocks are because stocks have stopped going down on negative earnings reports. That means the negative environment is already factored into share prices.
But GE, parent of CNBC, dropped sharply. That's despite telling analysts it expected robust profits next year. Well, when it comes to the markets, Jeffrey Applegate says it doesn't matter who becomes the next president, Al Gore or George Bush. Applegate has several reasons. One is that both candidates have said they would re-elect Ellen Greenspan as boss of the Fed, so monetary policy would stay essentially the same. Number two, he says power sharing in Washington will lead to centrist policies that won't hurt the markets. But that all sounds so clean and easy. Let's hope so, because the last month has been a mess, both in Washington and in...
On the NASDAQ, down 79. That means a loss of right now 5.8% on the open. Here's what the big caps are looking like. Cisco's giving back 7.5%. We're at 1335. Microsoft down 6% to 5391. Intel almost 7% weaker. Sun down 7.5%. Dell down 7.5% to 2090. Cisco, as I mentioned, down 7%. On the bottom, we got Ciena down 5.25% or so to 1268. Amgen down 4% to 6155. And lastly, IDIC Pharmaceuticals down 3.5% to 54.19, even though they have positive news out of an FDA panel.
Got a lot of information late in the day with the Dow down about 674 points. Art, getting reports about the short sellers coming out now and hitting the market late in the day. Are you hearing the same thing on the floor?
Yeah, I'm hearing something similar, and I would like to believe that it was somebody hedging an alternate position, but I'm not sure that I can make that case at this point.
So to the notion that there was some sort of gentleman's agreement not to short, that doesn't seem too likely this afternoon.
Yeah, I was always suspicious of that gentleman's agreement to begin with.